A young woman who had nothing to do with the dangerous world of spies suddenly finds herself trapped in it. One night in a hotel room, a masked assassin bursts in, kills a powerful man, and escapes with her into the darkness. From that moment on, she is forced into a ruthless game of deception, survival, and betrayal. But before fate pulled her into this deadly world, Dominika Igorova was simply a gifted ballerina. The film opens with her relaxing at home while listening to music. At the same time, CIA agent Nate Nash receives a coded phone call, decodes the message, and learns about a meeting at Gorky Park. Meanwhile, Dominika cares for her sick mother and takes her to the hospital before leaving her with their caregiver, Lenny, and heading to the theater. Before her performance, her uncle Ivan, the deputy director of Russia's SVR intelligence agency, introduces her to a wealthy man named Dmitry Ustinov, who immediately shows interest in her. Dominika then delivers an impressive ballet performance, while Nate meets a secret contact to exchange an item, but when the police arrive, he creates a distraction with his gun so the contact can escape. The police chase Nate through Moscow, but he manages to evade them and finally reaches the American embassy for safety. During a ballet performance, Dominika's fellow dancer accidentally steps on her leg, breaking it and forcing the show to stop. She is rushed to the hospital, while at the American embassy, Nate is reprimanded by his superiors for acting recklessly. They explain that the police he encountered were dealing with ordinary criminals and that his actions have now blown his cover. But Nate insists he only acted to protect his asset, fearing the Russians would discover their mole. Meanwhile, Ivan meets with SVR chief Zakharov and a senior general to discuss Nate's meeting with the mysterious contact. When Dominika wakes up in the hospital, she breaks down after realizing her injury has ended her ballet career. And 3 months later, Ivan visits her, warning that without dancing, she will lose her apartment and the medical support for her mother.
What about medical coverage for your mother?
Before leaving, he gives her a tape recorder, and when Dominika listens to it, she learns that her partner deliberately broke her leg so his girlfriend could take her place. If you're enjoying this recap so far, make sure to like the video. Enraged after hearing the recording, Dominika follows her former partner and his girlfriend at the dance company and attacks them with her walking stick when she catches them kissing. Soon after, guilt sets in, and she calls the hospital so they can receive medical help.
Accident at the Bolshoi Theater.
When she returns home, she finds her mother helpless on the floor because the caregiver had stopped coming once the company stopped paying, pushing her to seek help from her uncle. The next day, Ivan tells her that if she wants to keep her apartment and her mother's medical support, she must help him with a task. He asks her to meet Dmitry Ustinov at a hotel and gain his trust so he lowers his guard. With no choice, she agrees and invites him to her room after asking him to dismiss his bodyguards. But when Dmitry begins forcing himself on her, a masked man suddenly appears, kills him, and escapes with Dominika on a motorcycle. At their destination, the masked man reveals himself as Maturin, a Russian intelligence operative. Ivan tells Dominika that since she witnessed Dmitry Ustinov's murder, she must either be eliminated or join a secret program that trains Russian agents skilled in manipulation. With no other choice, she agrees. But before leaving, she says goodbye to her mother,
I have to go away for a while.
who warns her not to trust Ivan. Dominika is then taken to an academy where future agents, known as sparrows, are trained. The strict head of the school, the matron, gives her an alias and doubts she will survive the program since she has no military background. But Dominika begins training with the other recruits. Meanwhile, in the United States, Nate is suspended indefinitely, though he argues with his superiors that his asset will only trust him and refuse to work with anyone else.
He is not going to deal.
A few days later, Nate notices Russian agents watching him, confirming that they still have not identified his asset. So his superiors send him to Hungary to reconnect with the contact. Meanwhile, in Russia, Dominika excels in her training at the Sparrow Academy and stands out among the recruits.
Very good, Katya.
One day, when a male cadet tries to assault her in the shower, she defends herself by using the shower handle as a weapon. Impressed by her potential, General Korchnoi later visits the academy, and Dominika is soon sent back to Moscow.
Goodbye, Dominika.
where Ivan assigns her a mission to approach Nate, gain his trust, and identify the mole he works with. Given a passport and new credentials, she travels to Budapest, moves into a prepared apartment with another sparrow named Marta, and meets the station chief Volantov, who unsuccessfully tries to flirt with her.
In an exchange, I hope that you will...
As Dominika prepares to get close to Nate, Marta warns that Russia will never truly release her unless she finds damaging information on them. And soon Dominika registers at a swimming pool Nate frequently visits, where he notices her and invites her to dinner, but she declines. Nate begins to suspect that Dominika may be working for the Russians,
But her real name is Dominika Igorova.
though he is unsure if she belongs to their intelligence service, and he also learns that Ivan is her uncle. When Dominika meets Nate again, they spend time talking, and she openly admits she is a spy, explaining how circumstances forced her into that life, and they agree to meet again the next day.
Tomorrow at 8.
That night, Dominika secretly searches Marta's room and discovers she has been profiling the chief of staff. She later confronts Volantov at a bar about the negative report he sent after she rejected him, provokes him until he punches her, and then blackmails him into sending a positive report.
Oh, and your career will be over.
The next day, Nate waits for Dominika at a restaurant, but she watches from a distance and follows him back to his apartment, where she sees him receive a call from his asset and decode a message reading, Vienna.
Vienna.
Don't forget to subscribe to the channel before watching ahead. Soon after, Dominika visits Nate's apartment and tries to get close to him, but he politely refuses. The next morning, she secretly enters his apartment and steals a drinking cup. When she returns home, Ivan tells her the mission is failing, but she reassures him by claiming she and Marta are working to persuade the United States' chief of staff to cooperate with them.
She's compromised. She has no choice.
After Ivan leaves, Marta accuses Dominika of taking credit, but Dominika explains she only said it to gain time and reveals that the state controls her because she witnessed Dmitry Ustinov's murder. Soon after, Dominika travels to Vienna to open a bank account under Ivan's name, while Marta secretly proposes to Volantov that they eliminate Dominika.
What would you give me if I told you how to get rid of Katerina?
Later, Dominika returns home and finds Marta dead in the bathtub, and Maturin warns her that if she reveals her secret again, she will be killed next. At the same time, Nate learns from his asset that Dominika is a sparrow,
She is a f***ing sparrow.
and goes to the police station to pick her up after questioning about her roommate's death. When Dominika arrives at Nate's apartment, she confides in him about everything she has endured. Nate tells her Russia will never truly release her and suggests she begin working for the United States instead. After gaining her trust, they grow closer,
Wait, don't...
and the next morning, Nate outlines a plan so the SVR believes she is progressing with her mission. Dominika later passes a CIA lie detector test and claims a chief of staff named Boucher is willing to sell nuclear launch codes to Russia. In London, Dominika meets Boucher at a hotel, secretly swaps the real discs with CIA fakes, and completes the deal. Soon after leaving, Boucher panics when she notices someone following her and is struck by a truck. At the same time, Nate goes to the hotel room to recover the original discs. When Russian agents learn about Boucher's accident, they suspect betrayal and order Volantov and Dominika back to Russia. Nate rushes to the airport to save her, but she signals him to stop and boards the flight. In Russia, both are arrested and brutally interrogated, but while Volantov is eventually executed, Dominika is declared innocent. She convinces her uncle Ivan to send her back to Nate to gain the Americans' trust.
Send me back. Let me finish what we started.
In the United States, Nate is surprised when she returns, and they spend the evening together. That night, Dominika wakes to find Maturin torturing Nate for the mole's identity. Pretending to help, she waits for an opportunity, attacks Maturin, kills him after a fierce struggle, and calls the American embassy for help. Dominika later wakes up in a hospital, where General Korchnoi visits her, and she realizes he is the mole everyone has been searching for.
I am the mole. I am the man you're looking for.
He admits he became disillusioned with Russia's corruption, and suggests she continue working with the Americans. Dominika later surrenders to the Hungarian authorities and secretly tells Chief Zakharov that the mole is Ivan.
Thank you, Director Zakharov.
At the arranged prisoner exchange, Nate is shocked when Ivan is revealed as the supposed traitor, as Dominika had carefully framed him with fabricated evidence. During the exchange, a sniper kills Ivan while the Russians take Dominika back. In the end, she is honored at a military ceremony and returns home to live with her mother. Later, she receives a mysterious phone call playing a piano concerto, and she realizes it is Nate, confirming she has both avenged herself and secretly become a CIA informant inside the Kremlin. Thanks for watching, and be sure to share this video with your friends who love movies.